Mahatma Gandhi once said, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. Good afternoon, affectionate Toastmasters and amicable guests. I am Toastmaster Shaboni and I am the Sergeant at Arms for the afternoon. I welcome you all to the 122nd meeting of VirtuoMasters Toastmasters Club. Can we have a huge round of applause? To have a smooth meeting, we have some ground rules. Please put yourself on mute when you are not speaking. Do not write anything inappropriate in the chat box. If your video is on, make sure you sit in a proper upright position. We do not talk about sex, religion, or politics in a derogatory manner. I would request you to kindly put your phone on silent mode so that you don't get distracted during the meeting. As everybody in their life has a mission to achieve their goals, likewise, VirtuoMasters Toastmasters Club also has a mission. The mission of our club is to provide a supportive and positive learning environment in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, I would like to hand over the podium to someone who is a versatile speaker, someone who does even the smallest of work with all the earnestness, and an ingenuous person. He is none other than the president of VirtuoMasters Toastmasters Club. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Anurag.
Thank you, Toastmaster Savoni, for such kind and wonderful words. Can we keep it going for our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Savoni? Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, and to be Toastmasters, I don't think so. Anyone in the house? I welcome you all to the 122nd meeting of VirtuoMasters Club, and I declare the meeting open with a small clap. Friends, today, before I go on with my proceedings, I would like to acknowledge the presence of some of the district dignitaries in the house. First, it is Toastmaster Bishwaraj, who is the area director of Area J2. Toastmaster Bishwaraj, thank you for being a part of our meeting today. Next, we also have Toastmaster Sheetal, who is the Club Growth Director of Division J. I would also thank Toastmaster Sheetal for being present in our meeting today. Friends, I have a small case study to present in front of you, and I believe that all of you could relate to it very well. There are two friends. One is Anurag and the other is Ayush. Now, these two friends are very good friends. I mean, the best of friends, but they are quite notorious. They both studied in the same school. Now, they have their semester examinations in 1 week. So, what Ayush says, Anurag, I didn't study the whole year. What's the point of studying now? I will fail in any case. So, Ayush doesn't study at all and he appears for the examination. Whereas Anurag thinks, yes, I haven't studied for the whole year, but can I give it a try? Let me study. Let's see whether I'll pass or fail. So Anurag studies. Now, on the result day, what comes out is that both Ayush and Anurag has school. But my dear friends, whom will you choose as a candidate if you are interviewing someone? Will it be Anurag or will it be Ayush? I'm pretty sure that you will choose the person who tried and failed rather than the person who gave up. Yes, we all know that there are things that we fail at, right? I understand, and I think so everybody could relate to it, that next client call, the client might reject your proposal. The idea that you present before your boss might reject your proposal. And your proposal to a beautiful girl for a date, even she might reject you. But my dear friends, why should I reject myself before the external circumstances reject me? Why can't I give it a try and fail? I think so I'll still be far better off than those who didn't try at all. So my dear friends, today I would like to present to you someone who is a complete embodiment of the story that I have shared with you. He is someone who tries and tries, who tries without thinking about the results, and is none other than my mentee, our VPPR of the club, the most handsome and the most eligible bachelor in the town, is none other than Toastmaster Ayush. Can we have a huge round of applause for him?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anurag. I can't imagine that I would get such a good introduction. But thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and enthusiastic guests, if there's any. I am Toastmaster Ayush and I am your host for the day. And the theme that I have chosen is guilty pleasure. So, what do you think is guilty pleasure? Anyone from the audience? Anyone would like to say? Toastmaster Rima, you're smiling. Why not you start?
Guilty pleasure is something which we should not do, but we do it without feeling guilty and repeatedly doing it.
I totally agree with Toastmaster Rima. Why is it like a pleasure is someone feels like if a pleasure, we should not do it even if we are getting the pleasure from it. Why is this such a case? Well, I have a different view regarding this because I've realized that life is short and often difficult to get through. And there are a lot of things that makes us anxious and stressed. Finding meaning that alleviate these pressures are gems. And we cling to certain things to make these anxious and stress situation go away, to make ourselves smile and laugh or cry. But so often than not, we feel guilty. So I got to the depth of this. Why do we feel guilty? The first thing which I realized was the society doesn't accept these things. And why do we care about the society? So basically, we care to impress people. We don't really care about impressing who are hiding their own guilty pleasures. Like they're also hiding it, but we are busy impressing them. And we do this. We stop doing those things which we love in the name of social approval. Well, in my case, I like to do such things when I'm not among such people, when I'm in my room or when I'm alone. And procrastinating on the bed is the best pleasure which I get. Even I know that I'm getting late for office. I hope many of you would be relating to this. We can show with a raise of hands. And I also like to have crunchy things. It could be Lays, it could be papad, it could be anything. And I will binge eat on it without realizing that I have ate 4-5 papads or I ate 4-5 packets of chips. These are my guilty pleasures. I do it alone or I don't do it in front of everyone. But lately I have been realizing, but why am I afraid to do such things? Well, I will be honest with you. I'll get to the bottom of this in the next section. But before that, let me tell you about the 3 sections which are there in the Toastmasters meeting. First is the prepared speech section, where the said speaker prepares his or her script, gets mentored, and then delivers the speech. Second is the table topic section or the impromptu section, where the table topic master chooses a person from the audience and he has to speak impromptu on the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. And third is the final section, it's the evaluation section, wherein the general evaluator, along with his team, evaluates the entire meeting from the beginning till the end. And for this mammoth task, we have Toastmaster Biswas to give his special comments at the end. Please welcome Toastmaster Biswas.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ayush, for that wonderful introduction. Today I'm playing the role of the general evaluator, or in short, the GE. The role of the GE is much like a referee in a football match, where I have to observe the entire session from the start till the end. I just said from the start, which means that my role has already started. And as a part of this humongous role, it is not possible for me to do the entire thing single-handed. and agree. And for that, I have with me some assistant referees as well, or in Toastmaster terms, we call them role players. Today, in assisting me as a role player, we have in the role of a timer, Toastmaster Shaboni. So I request Toastmaster Shaboni to come on the podium and explain to us what your role is going to be like.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, I am Toastmaster Shaboni and I am playing the role of a timer. I will keep a track of the time of all the 3 sections. For prepared speech section, time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. For tabletop section, time limit is 1 to 2 minutes. And for evaluation section, time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. There is a grace period of 30 seconds on the upper and lower side in prepared speech section and evaluation section. In tabletop section, there is a grace period of 30 seconds only on the upper side. I will show the green card at the minimum time, yellow card at the maximum time, at the mean time, and red card at the maximum time. I shall present my report at the end of the meeting when called upon to do so by the general evaluator. I will change my background to show the time change. All the best to the speakers. Over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Madam Timer. If you could please give us a very brief demo of how you're going to show the background card so that the speakers who will come here on the podium can actually understand how to observe and know the timing.
Yes, I will change my background. Like when it will be the mean time, I will show green. I will change my background to green. In the meantime, I will show it as yellow, and in the maximum time, I will show it as red.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shaboni. I would request the speakers to keep an eye on the window of a timer because the timing will be shown on the background of the screen. Our next role player here is the listening master, is the role of the language evaluator, which is the combination of 2 roles, the counter and the grammarian, and that is being played by Toastmaster Avijit. So Toastmaster Avijit, can you please come forward and explain to us your role?
Thank you, General Evaluator. Very good afternoon to all the Toastmaster and guests. Today, I will be playing the role of language evaluator, which is the combination of both counter as well as grammarian. So coming to the counter part, as the counter, I will note words and sounds that are used as crutch or fillers by the speakers. During the meeting, I will listen to the crutch words such as and, well, but, so, you know, etc. I will also listen for filler sounds such as and I will note when a speaker repeats a phrase that is not needed and of long or short pauses. I will give my report when called by the general evaluator to do so. This was my counter note. Now coming to the grammarian part. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers and role players and to listen carefully to the language usage. I will take note of any incorrect usage of grammar as well as any good usage of words, quotes, etc. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce word of the day. For today's meeting, the word of the day I selected is aplomb, which is spelled as APLOMB. And the meaning of the word of the day is self-confidence or assurance, especially when in a demanding situation. An easy example of word of the day can be Morgan handled the media attention with aplomb. And I request all the participants to kindly show a virtual thumbs up when a particular speaker is using word of the day. To make it simple, I will be pasting the word of the day meaning and the word in chat box so that everybody can refer to it. I will present my report when called by the general evaluator to do so. Thank you and over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Avijit, for wonderfully explaining your role as the counter and as the grammarian, or in short, as the language evaluator. We'll move on to our third role player for today, which is the listening master, Toastmaster Shruti. So Toastmaster Shruti, can you please come forward and explain to us what your role is going to be like?
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I am the active listener for the day. Active listening is not just an important skill in professional life, but also in personal life and in building relationships. The most effective and great active listeners that I have come across are my parents. They are also the most subjective active listeners that I have come across because they listen to every guilty pleasure that I am planning to have, but they never listen to the good parts, like the hard work that I have put in. So last time my boss was scolding me and I had planned a movie afterwards. My parents did listen to me, but when my boss was praising me, they never listened to it. And hence I was subjected to a long round of scolding. So I will be making the speakers feel special by actively listening to them and keeping a note of whatever they are speaking so that I can ask questions towards the end. So I request all the speakers and the guests present to keep an ear to whatever is being said and keep listening. Thank you. And over to you, Darren.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shruti, for wonderfully explaining your role. And apart from this, I have got my evaluators who will be evaluating the speakers. We'll get back to that later on. I'll come back with my team in the third section, which we also call as the evaluation section. But till then, let us enjoy the joyride of guilty pleasures that our TMOD has for us. Over to you, Mr. Ayush.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishwas. Well, why I came to this topic. During the pandemic, everything came to a halt. We were all figuring out what we will do for the next 1 month, 1.5 months, where the lockdown was there. And then I said to myself, now I will finally get to do the things which I really want to do in my life. I will watch Game of Thrones series. I will binge watch the series. I will sleep for 10 hours a day, and I will eat ice creams every day whenever I like it. But before going to sleep on that day, I happened to open my Instagram. And then I saw people posting videos of their morning of their morning journals, like how they went after they wake up, what do? They exercise, they do meditation. People posted how many books they read. People also posted what did they cook, what did they do throughout the day, how productive they were. And then this social anxiety creeped in. I was thinking of resting throughout the day and resting and sleeping throughout the day, and the others were so productive. I was in a mess. Like, I was feeling guilty about the things which I really liked, but I really wanted to do it, but I was not able to do it because of the social pressure. So I kept on thinking about it. Why is it necessary to to think about it in such a way? So I said to myself that why am I concerned about the society so much? Why why I'm not able to do the things which I really want to do? Well, after a few days, I got back to the group and I also started posting videos about my healthy journey, about the healthy eating, and about the healthy lifestyle which I'm leading. But continuing this for the next 2 months, I didn't feel that great. And then one day, while going to sleep, I couldn't sleep at that time. And at 2 a.m. at night, I got up and went to the kitchen. And to my surprise, my brother was also there in the kitchen, and he had an ice cream tub in his hand, and I could see the smile in his face. And I really got tempted that day. Both of my brother completed the tub of ice cream, and then we went to sleep. And then the next day, when I woke up, I was more energized, and I felt really better to do the things, to do the work daily shows to do the daily shows. And then I realized one thing, that sometimes if we get to do the things which we think are not good for us, or which the society thinks are not good, once we do those things, we feel more energetic and we feel happy inside. So yeah, this was my experience with guilty pleasures, and I would like to know more from you guys as well. But before we discuss that, it's time for the first section of the meeting, which is the prepared speech section. Now, it is time to call to call Toastmaster Sheetal on the stage to give the speech to give the speech. When I asked Toastmaster Sheetal that what does he like, what does he what is his guilty pleasures, so his reply was bang on. He loved to watch daily TV serials, and he loves to eat junk foods, which I also relate to. And he also likes getting up late in the morning. And I felt like he's like my soulmate from somewhere else. Like we have the same interest. But now, before that, I would like to call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Anurag, on the stage, and uh, tell us about the project of the pathways, project pathways.
Thank
Over
you,
to you, Toastmaster Anurag.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ayush. So the speaker for the day will be delivering his speech with great aplomb, but the objective of his speech is to practice writing and delivering a speech that inspires others. And the purpose of the speech is for the member to inspire the audience. Timer, please note that the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to the speaker. I know you will be delivering your speech with great aplomb. Thank you, and over to you, to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ayush.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anurag. Now that now I would like to ask Toastmaster Sheetal to give the speech for the day. Please welcome Toastmaster Sheetal.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. How many of you have failed in your life? I see a lot of failures. How does it feel to fail? But have you thought, why is it necessary to fail in life? Today, I am going to tell you my story of failures that has made me what I am today. I know I am not a success yet, but I can tell you I'll be a success one day. Good evening again, my dear friends. The day was the first day at my college. I was entering the college. The peon was standing there. It was Delhi University. I stammered, said, sir, what is the way to my class? I don't know what happened to me. I was a topper all through my life. That day I understood that something I was lacking in my life. And it was nothing, not the hard skills. I was already a topper all through my life. It was the soft skills that I was missing on. That day I realized I need to practice. That day I failed, but I understood that failure gave me a lesson to practice my soft skills. The next 3 years, I worked hard on my vocabulary. I literally read 5-6 newspapers every day, and the vocab kept on increasing. But the communication skills were not apt till then, till the time I became a graduate. I was always more focused on hard skill, typical Bihari guy who will always talk about the hard skills, very important stuffs, but not the soft skills. That day, I understood that I had to practice soft skills as well. There was a friend from Northeast. I talked to him for hours together in English. That helped me at least bring myself to a level that I can at least communicate with people with aplomb. That was my first failure that made me understand that, okay, I need to do stuffs that will make me happy. Second failure came when I chose to not prepare for UPSC examinations according to my family members, because I knew that I was not meant for administration. I was made to add value to people I knew. So I chose CA over UPSC, obviously, and I went on and did the stuff that I wanted to do. A peculiar thing happened in my life. When I came to Kolkata, a day came when I had the worst failure of my life. And when I say that, I know I mean that. I had a dream to love someone. I loved someone, in fact. She was my beauty dream, the girl whom I wanted to have in my life. And obviously she's not the one who is there in the room. She chose someone else. And I felt as if this is the worst day that could happen. I never knew that life would actually make me so more solid when I failed. I was almost on the verge of doing the worst thing of my life, committing suicide. But I did not do that. That day I understood that I had to fail to rise. We always fear failing, but do we know on the other side of failing lives our success story that is waiting to be written? That beauty, that dream girl did not come in my life, but the other one who came in is a beauty with a pure soul. She has made my life wonderful. And I can easily vouch that she's the best partner to have in my life. And I would not have got a better girl in my life, for sure. I can tell that. That failure actually brought us success because she happens to be the best friend of that beautiful girl. Again, I can consider her beautiful even today, but because she is the most pretty and beautiful girl I have met. Till then, till the time I considered my wife, I don't consider her the prettiest now because obviously I have genuine reasons for that. My dear friends, that was my second failure story. The third failure story is according to many people who feel that you need to have a comfortable space in your life and do stuffs that makes your life stable. I was in a very glorified job. I was working with one of the best audit firms in the world, KPMG. And one very good day, I still remember May 8th, I resigned. My HR said, Seetal, you are going to fail miserably. You are not going to get a good job because you have just left this job within 6 months. I said, I'm not hunting for one. I'm going to work for myself. That day I knew that the struggle was real. The aspirations that I had were real, but the journey is going to be steep. It took me 3 years to return to the level that I left. There was a time when I wanted to travel through taxi, but I did not have the money to spend that as well. But that failure story taught me one thing. If you are able to conquer your failure stories, you are definitely going to make success stories. When I was talking about my failure stories, you all would be thinking, what is the success that came in? That day when I failed in college, I became a better speaker. The day I fell in love, I found a better life partner. The day I left my job, I became a stable entrepreneur. That day it was not stable, but today it is stable. And I can tell you the growth story had just started. I'm going to be a person who will have many more success stories for sure because I'm not scared of failing. My dear friends, how many times do we really feel failing? We really feel failing, isn't it? But there's one time when we don't really feel failing, when we are innocent, like my child Samriti. When she falls, she stands up again. She falls, she stands up again. She does not have the fear of falling. That innocent child teaches me every day that you don't need to give up. Fall, stand up. And I always say, the earlier you test failures, the better it is. The further it is, the fatalities. Why do I say that? I've seen people fail at the age of 44, and at the first stage of failing, they do something that is not good for us or for anyone. They end up their life. Why are we not just strong enough to fail? My dear friends, everyone needs to fail to create that success story. That story that will be in your life and that will inspire others as well. Every time you feel like that you will fail, try it. Failing is no sin. Not trying again is. I failed all through my life. Even today I might fail because I just took this opportunity to speak at the last moment in the morning itself. Salu was talking to me today. I have to deliver a speech. I said, I'll do that. I chose to fail even today. But I know on the other side of it, I know I will be able to speak impromptu for 7 years. The next time I'm told to. So the fear of falling or failing will not stop you from success. Rather will stop you from success. You need to set up this fear of falling or failing. To rise to the occasion is to embrace the fear of failing. I have done. What about you, fellow Toastmasters? I know the next time you are asked to give a speech, don't fear to embrace that fear, and that will be a blessing to our VPA as well. So please don't fear to fail and rise to the occasion. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Let's keep the applaud going for Toastmaster Sheetal Kumar. What a wonderful speech. Now, I would like to ask the audience about their guilty pleasures. Like anyone from the audience would like to tell about their pleasures? Anyone could raise a hand, or otherwise I will choose. Okay, if there's no one. So there's one person named 1 plus Nod. Hello. Is he still in the meeting? Maybe not. Let me start with our president for the day, Toastmaster Anurag. Could you tell us about some of your guilty pleasures?
One of my guilty pleasures is binge eating. I know this might sound very uh, opposite to the way I say that we should keep on fasting. But the problem is that when I taste something new or different and if I like it, I will be consuming it till the point I get saturated with it, and then I leave that food as my part of consumption. For example, it is the chola tikki right now that I'm consuming on a daily basis from Tiwadi Brothers, new edition. So that is my guilty pleasure. That is the reason why I avoid tasting any new food that comes.
I could definitely relate to it. The chola bhatura from the Tiwari brothers. Once I start eating now, I ask my father to get it every next week. Anyone else would like to share their guilty pleasures? Come on, guys. Toastmaster Shruti.
Eating Karachi biscuits non-stop.
But where do you get those Karachi biscuits? It's from Hyderabad or?
My Masi sends it to me sometimes. So like recently she sent 2 packets full from Chennai. So she has realized that I love Karachi biscuits. So every time my mother goes somewhere to meet one of the Masi, she sends Karachi biscuits.
So everyone knows now how Masi lives in Chennai. So we can get our Karachi biscuits if we messages her. Toastmaster Rima is really happy with this. Now let's have a voting section. I will ask the entire VMC, everyone in the audience to vote. I'm sending a link on the chat. Go on to the site and vote on it. And I'm sharing the screen as well. Can everyone see the screen? This is the voting link. Has everyone voted? It could be a thumbs up.
Are you all able to submit it? Because I'm not able to submit.
I'm also unable to submit it.
Okay. No, there's no submission.
Same here.
No, we are not being able to submit it.
Actually, it's written voting has been closed.
Okay, maybe there's some tech issue.
No, after seven
I think it came.
voting. No, after the 7th vote, you can submit the option.
Okay. So mobile binging is the #1 guilty pleasure the entire people in the audience feels. And binging TV shows is the next. So my question is, why do we need to stop this? Do any of us think that we need to stop such things to have to be more productive? It could be either to be more productive, or it could be either to be more to be like what the society expects from us. Anyone on this take, like, do we need to stop such things? I would like to view from the audience. Anyone? Toastmaster Nikhil, do you have any view on this?
Yeah, sure.
So which one did you select, by the way? What were the top 2 guilty pleasures?
Yeah, first 2 only. The top 2 only.
The top 2 ones. And would you like to stop it? Like, do you have in mind
Personal-
certain ways?
Yeah, because I think this reduces my productivity.
Okay.
Watching TV or watching mobile during night time, whenever I go back to my office, go to home after my office, I find that I waste my time for next 1.5 or 2 hours while watching TV or something, which I can utilize by reading books, or I can sleep early, or I can wake up early. No, that's what
Yeah.
I think so.
So I have the same feeling. My major major two guilty pleasures is binging TV shows and procrastination in bed, and always try to do something or the other. What I have done is I don't want to remove these two things entirely, but I make sure that I set a certain time of the day where I watch a show like 4 5 hours for straight. Or on Saturdays and Sundays, I make sure that I wake up late and I stay in bed for 2 to 3 hours even after waking up. Maybe I wake up at 6 o'clock, not 4. Sorry, at 6 o'clock. But I will make sure that I won't get out of the bed before 9. So these are the ways I make myself feel importance, because it's all about the individual happiness which I get from doing such activities. And com- and at those times, I often feel that what if my friend will go ahead and he will utilize the time and make it productive. Before, these such thoughts used to come in my mind, but now I am starting to give more importance to myself. And I actually appeal to all of you to analyze what actually, see, these are the things in which in front of you which makes you feel good, and these are somewhere the things not accepted by the society, or maybe not accepted by the productive society, which we can see everyone is productive in the everyone is doing something or the other, and that makes us anxiety. And if we stop doing such things, we will be more will more feel pressurized. Now, I will like to get with the next section of the with the next section. 1 minute. Yeah, I will get before that. So when I asked Toastmaster Shalu, so what would be her guilty pleasures, and she also chose mobile, using mobile late night, and waking up late in the morning. And the most important for her was the milk tea which we had in the morning. And also she mentioned two things, that she would like to stop having milk tea, which is because it's not good for health. But she's not going to entirely stop it, but she is lowering it down every day. So all the best to you, Toastmaster Shalu, for that. Now, with this, I will ask Toastmaster Shalu to start with the next session of the day, the table topic section. Over to you, Toastmaster Shalu.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster. And I think Toastmaster only. No one guest is here. Okay. Today I'm table topic master, and I will give you a topic on which you have to speak impromptu. Friends, impromptu action does not happen only in Toastmaster meeting. It also happens in our personal life also. Let me share today's instance of my life. When I started meeting and I thought to open the sheet which I prepared for table topic. I saw, oh my God, it has been deleted permanently. I called someone who is ultimate solution of my life for every problem. My husband, Toastmaster Sheetal. I asked him, what should I do? The file has been permanently deleted. I think Babu has been deleted. He said, don't worry, don't panic. Write again, and you have time. Then I thought, okay, I can do. And I prepared again that sheet. So friends, be prepared for your topic for impromptu section. Please raise your hand who want to be a volunteer. No one volunteer? I have to choose someone then. Toastmaster Shilpa. Are you there? Toastmaster Shilpa? Okay. Toastmaster Nikhil? All are out of meeting, I think. No, Toastmaster Nikhil.
I am there. I will
You are
try. But I
Toastmaster or
can't.
guest?
No, no, I am a guest.
Okay, yeah, guest. That is it. Then Toastmaster, share the screen. Please choose the number according to your choice. 1 to 7.
Okay, should I?
Which image you like the most? Choose the number accordingly.
1.
1. Okay. Your topic is one thing you would like to do if you become our Prime Minister. One thing you would like to do if you become our Prime Minister, guest Nikhil.
I would like to change the education system. What I personally feel about my education system in the country, students need to study subjects which they are not interested in, which is not of use for them. For example, I am a chartered accountant. I have always have an enthusiasm for maths and accounts, but I need to study physics, chemistry, which was not any time applicable for me. What should I do with physics and chemistry when I don't want to study? And suppose somebody, I know my brother, he wants to learn guitar, but due to this academic pressure, he was never able to follow his guitar love, or he can get his success in the life for guitar. So what I feel, education system, what TMOD is also trying, that let us change the education system, Western culture, or whatever you say. You have to take a basic education. That I agree. We should take basic education, but it should not be so pressurized that students are lean towards the subjects which they don't want to do. So I think future can be decided only after education. Thank you.
Okay. Guest Nikhil, nice take and nice thought. Okay.
Thank you.
Next, any volunteer? Abhijit Bose. Please choose any number.
Number 6. Yes. Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah.
Abhijit, your topic is share your feeling if you get a chance to play with your favorite sport person. Share your feeling if you get a chance to play with your favorite sport person. Toastmaster Abhijit.
Thank you very much. Sports plays an integral part in my life. Whether I get an opportunity to play with any sports celebrity, or whether I get an opportunity to play with my local friends. But yes, it will be definitely a dream come true if we get an opportunity to play the particular sports with your favorite sports person. And of course, cricket being one of my favorite sport, we always look forward to have an interaction or play with Sachin Tendulkar, the master blaster. We have been, whenever during my childhood, when we had that name cricket, I always believed that Sachin Tendulkar is an inspiration for us. The achievement, the success which he has achieved throughout his entire career is worth commendable. So if I get an opportunity to play a particular sports, for say if I get an opportunity to play cricket, I will definitely choose Sachin Tendulkar because I love batting and the class, the strokes which he plays is a treat to your eyes. Henceforth, if I get a chance to play the game of cricket with any celebrity or sports person, I will definitely choose Sachin Tendulkar. Thank you and over to you, table topic master.
Okay. Any volunteer then? Next volunteer. Shruti Bhartiya. Okay. What is your favorite number or what is your favorite picture here?
Fifth one.
Huh?
Fifth one, Amitabh Bachchan.
Fifth. Amitabh Bachchan is fourth one. Okay, fourth one. Toastmaster Shruti, your topic is your favorite TV actor or actress and how he or she inspires you. Who is your favorite TV actor or actress and how he or she inspires you? Toastmaster Shruti.
The angry young man, the one who revolutionized cinema in the 60s. What was cinema based on? It had just the regular stuff. But then Amitabh Bachchan came and he addressed the problems of the century, the struggles that coal miners have, the difficulties that Indians had when the Britishers were ruling us. He smashed the screen. He ruled our hearts. And it was not just his acting, but also his persona that inspired us. He's not just a favorite of the young or the old. He marvels all the generations. Amitabh Bachchan, who knows that one day you will definitely get old, but he's not scared of it. He approaches every role with aplomb and attacks them. Be it a supporting role, as in Piku, which I doubt you will call it supporting, or be it being a hero at the age of 60 in power. Amitabh Bachchan has played numerous roles, not just as an actor, but also as a philanthropist, as a politician, in which he proudly says that he failed, and as a guide and mentor and quiz master to so many of us. And currently, he inspires us with his take on KBC, with the way he approaches every single man, like he's special, like they mean something, like they are something to the country. I adore Amitabh Bachchan, not because he is just an actor, but because he's a human. He is an actor who rules our heart and makes everyone feel special with his acting. He teaches us that you can stay rooted despite all the fame that you have, all the glory that you get. The one that rules my father's heart and mind. Thank you. Over to you, tabletop master.
Oh, Toastmaster Shruti. My favorite actor is also Amitabh Bachchan. That's why I posted image. Any volunteer is here? Come on. Nobody is interested. It's a boring session. Then no one is interested. Okay, I will try. Toastmaster Biswaraj. Please come on the podium.
Tell me.
Please choose your number or image.
Number 7.
Number 7. Come on. Okay. Your topic is propose your girlfriend or girlfriend on radio. Propose your girlfriend on radio. Toastmaster Vishwaraj.
Well, being a Toastmaster, one of the basic attributes that we all learn is the art of public speaking. And today, I would like to use this radio platform to be the ideal platform for me to propose my girlfriend, or rather to propose my wife, because I don't think the word girlfriend is applicable for me anymore. So in order to reach out to my wife over the radio, first I'd like to play a song from any of the movies of Shah Rukh Khan, because she and I, both of us, happens to be a huge fan of Shah Rukh Khan. And who else can be a king of romance other than this person? Once the song is played, and then I'll go on with what are the beautiful things that she does for me, what are the things in which she helps me out, what are the ways in which we share all our stories together, things we share about our problems about our daily lives or our offices, the struggles that we face in life as well as in Toastmasters, the contests that we have, the upcoming contests, how to ace the contest, what is the best way to be the best evaluator at a contest, or the best table topic speaker at an event, or even how to master the art of being a good ISC speaker. Why do I use the term radio over here? I could have said the entire thing over a one-on-one phone call as well. The reason why I would choose to be focusing this on the radio is to inspire the other people all around as well who are listening to the same channel, that the benefits of Toastmasters. In a Toastmaster, you can be an evaluator or a table topic speaker or an ISS speaker as well, and also get a chance to propose your girlfriend or your spouse over the radio. So that gives you a chance to be, first of all, a fearless husband or a fearless spouse, and secondly, it also gives you a chance to be an effective communicator by spreading the word of Toastmasters all across. Well, let us look at the radio not as a device of your own propaganda, but also if serving your own propaganda, it can also do good to a number of people, and a number of people can listen or know the benefits of Toastmasters, then why not use it? I think this is the very small and humble way in which I would like to use my Toastmasters platform, my radio platform for Toastmasters propaganda as well. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Very nice take, Toastmaster Vishwara. I didn't know you are married. Any volunteer is here? Toastmaster Anurag, can we continue? Or we should stop here?
No, I think Dr. Rupesh is in the house.
Dr. Rupesh, okay.
And we also have Toastmaster Shweta. We have 1+ nod. I request you.
Shweta Kisan. Okay, for Shweta Kisan. Okay. Who will be the first? Toastmaster Shweta or Toastmaster Rupesh? Please raise your hand. Dr. Rupesh is connected.
Sorry, telling something from me. 36.
Are you ready for table topic, Toastmaster Rupesh?
Okay, we can pay you or not. I'm in train, so. I'm okay if network will help, so you can go ahead.
Okay. And Toastmaster Rupesh, please choose one number in these three images. Number 3, number 2, and number 5.
Number 3, number 2, number 5. Okay.
3 images. Network is not supported. Anurag, I think this network is not supported.
Yes, let's move on with the next.
Yeah. Then, Toastmaster Shweta, are you there? Toastmaster Shweta Tisan.
Yes, ma'am, I'm there. But today I'm here to listen because I have some background noise, so I won't be able to speak today much.
Okay. Then anybody else?
I would like to volunteer. Let me give it.
Choose one number.
I'm left only with burger. I'll consume.
Yeah, I knew it. That's why. And Toastmaster Anurag, your topic is Share your feeling of the worst food you ever tasted. Share your feeling of the worst food you ever tasted, Toastmaster Anurag.
I mean, who cooks this food? Who has made this food? Please call the chef right now. I don't think that this food is even worth eating. And you are billing me like 400 for this dish? Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and to be Toastmasters in the house. Haven't you all been in this situation where you taste a food which didn't even felt like food at all? Haven't you went to a restaurant where you cursed the chef for giving you such a food and then charging it at an exorbitant rate? Didn't you feel like asking not to charge service tax over this food which you can't even give to your pet? Have you all not been in that situation? Well, I must say, Toastmaster Shalu and all in the house, we have all been in that place once in a while, if not every time. And you all have vowed not to ever go back to that restaurant once again. Not only that, what you did is that you also told all your friends and family members how pathetic the chef in that restaurant is. But sometimes, my friends, things change because people change with time. And at times it might happen that the food from one restaurant which didn't taste that good, after receiving much feedback or criticisms from the food lovers, that chef changed his way of cooking the food. It depends, my fellow friends, about our taste buds. You see, there are people in America who can't consume Indian curry food because it's very spicy. But when we go there and we consume their food, it feels like a pale taste, right? So, my friends, I would say yes, the food might be yuck at times. Yes, it might not feel like it is worth eating, but it might also happen that the chef is from some other country and trying to bring in the delicacy of that country. Be there with an open mind, ask the chef to change the food, and God knows that restaurant could become one of the best restaurants in the city. What do you think, Toastmaster Sir?
Yeah, two person are there. I think Nikhil Gupta and yeah, who one is there? Who connected with the name? One plus nod. One plus nod. And Toastmaster Nikhil. Guest.
He has already spoken, right? He's a guest. He spoke.
निखिल ने बोल दिया है वन प्लस नॉट है नहीं आई थिंक नो वन पोस्टमास्टर आयुष वुड यू लाइक टू स्पीक there are two images both are our president and
I would like to take two.
Okay, then Toastmaster Ayush, your topic is one invention you would like to work upon that if you would become a scientist. One invention you would like to work upon that if you would become a scientist. Toastmaster Ayush.
If I could open a door and it could lead me to the place which I am thinking, wouldn't that be great? Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Well, I used to watch Doraemon, if you know the cartoon. It was a blue color teddy bear shaped cartoon, and he had a bag. And he had this power to create a door so that wherever you are thinking, you can go and open the door and you can step out to the same place. I always wanted, if I could develop some technology around it and have a door or a button, and I would reach to that place. At those times, I had my ex-girlfriend was there, and I always got late whenever during those cafe meets or during birthday meets or while going for a movie. In fact, I reached the movie theater after an hour. So I always thought at that point of time, if I had this door with me and I could step out and of my home at that point and reach the place. And I imagine going to the mountains whenever I liked. I could go to the beaches whenever I like. And these were the things which created my interest in science. But lately, but thereon, I realized that it takes a lot of potential to get and to become a scientist. And looking at my score of maths, like getting 7 out of 100 in class 8, I realized that this was not my cup of tea. And then I switched my interest to something else. But I believe that one day a scientist would come and create a dough for us, and everyone could go to the place wherever they like. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. That was my take. Thank you.
Step Toastmaster Ayush. Toastmaster Anurag, I think we should end the session. Yeah. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this session. And over to you, Toastmaster Ayush.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shalu, for a wonderful table topic section. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Now, let me get back to the guilty pleasure topic. Everyone says there's an issue regarding it, but I found some benefits of a guilty pleasure as well. You get more connected with the people who has the same guilty pleasures, or if you know the other person has such guilty pleasures. For example, I will be more interested to whenever I visit Bara Bazaar, I will be more interested to call Toastmaster Anurag and have that vada pav, have the food in the Diwali. And in that case, he will be happy and I will be happy at the same time. And I will go and whenever I visit McDonald's, I may call Toastmaster Sheetal, and whenever I want to have tea, I may call Toastmaster Shali. It will create a new bond with the other person, and I will ask others to do the same. And this another benefit as well. And I've had a particular, I have my in my experience, I've had this. If the other person's like Bollywood masala, and then I'm definitely sure that you will love it. Because let me share an experience. So it was a date night, and I had to get and few years back I had to get flowers and everything. I was late for half an hour. I didn't have the flowers, and at the time when I reached, I knew my girlfriend would be fuming. I just opened Times of India and got to the Bollywood section, and it gave me a different news. And then I was it. I went inside and said, "Did you know what happened?" My girlfriend was angry and she was like, she didn't utter a word. I knew she's getting more angrier, but I also wanted to make it more interesting. Do you know what happened? And as you know, fear of missing out generation people, she relented the anger and asked, "What happened?" I told her, "Salman Khan is virgin. Can you believe it?" And the entire situation turned and we were discussing on that topic. So I escaped from that. So I believe that because of these pleasures, you get more connected to the person and you understand the person much more. This was my take on the guilty pleasure. Now, now I also asked Toastmaster Vishwaraj what is his guilty pleasures. And when he replied with, "Watching Coffee with Karan is his guilty pleasure." And I was overjoyed because I always had enjoyed Coffee with Karan because the masala, the topics which we get while watching that gives a lot of excitement. So on this note, I would like to call upon the general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Vishwaraj, to give his feedback and suggestions. Over to you, Toastmaster Vishwaraj.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ayush, for that wonderful introduction. I will now take you through the evaluation section of the meeting today. We had only one speaker who was evaluated by Toastmaster Anurag. So I'll call upon on the podium Toastmaster Anurag to provide his evaluation. Timer, please note the time limit for the evaluation is 2 to 3 minutes. Over to the evaluator.
Thank you, sir, General Evaluator. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and to be Toastmasters. It is not necessary that you get inspired from someone that is outside. You can also get inspired from a toddler at your home, just like the way our speaker for the day gets inspired from his daughter who never gives up, who always stands up even after falling. Dear Toastmasters and my particular speaker, Toastmaster Sheetal, there are three things that I loved about your speech, Toastmaster Sheetal. Ladies and gentlemen, first I would like to comment on the content of his speech. He spoke about three different aspects. One, his failure in the public life of not being able to speak in front of the public. Second, his love life, not being able to get the love of his life or the person whom he wanted. And third, about his adult life of his entrepreneurship. He not only shared his failure stories in it, he also connected it with how it turned out to be successful. He gave a complete 360-degree remark, a complete circle of how failing in these three different aspects of his life has turned out, has made him a success in these aspects. Second, I would also like to commend Toastmaster Sheetal on his impromptu style of delivering a prepared speech. It was a very well effort on your part, Toastmaster Sheetal, being able to deliver the speech impromptu for 5 to 7 minutes. This is something that we all can expect from a veteran Toastmaster like you. Third, I would like to comment upon his presence of mind for being able to use the word of the day, which is aplomb, during his speech. Kudos to you, Toastmaster Sheetal, for doing that. However, Toastmaster Sheetal, there are certain recommendations that I have for you. First, I felt that your ending of the speech could have been much better. I felt it was a bit here and there. You spoke about Samriddhi's inspiration. You spoke about failing and dying someone at the age of 44. And then you also had some generic motivation. Instead, what you could have done is that you could have taken out some specific example and then elaborated on it in the ending. And or maybe you just could have said how Samriddhi inspires you every day instead of giving a more generic motivation to each and every one of us. Second place that I would recommend, that I want you to improve upon, is you could stand and deliver the speech. The reason being is that I personally couldn't see your complete upper body movement in this virtual podium. That hinders our interaction with the audience. And given that your project is inspire your audience, a lot can be done through your body language. Third place where I would want you to improve upon is that you use the word stammered and stumbled. Maybe you could have also added shattered in that, and it could have been an alliteration, and you could have said, I was stammered, stumbled, and shattered. And that alliteration could have created much more impact on the audience. In summary, Toastmaster Sheetal, I love the content of your speech, the way you impromptu delivered, your presence of mind. However, if you could improvise on your ending of the speech, if you could stand and deliver and maybe use a bit more of alliteration, your speech could have been taken to yet another level. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Chandralal.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anurag. I'll come to the evaluation of the speaker in a while. First, I'll evaluate our speaker today, Toastmaster Anurag. It was a wonderful evaluation, Anurag. You had commendation, recommendation, and then you had a proper conclusion. Just have one small recommendation for you is I felt that even when the red card was being flashed, you were still on your third recommendation. Instead of that, if you can wrap it up a little bit before that, so that at the stroke of red card, you can start your conclusion from that point of time, then you can have a proper conclusion without hurrying up, and that will create a more impact on the speaker and your audience as well. But overall, if that if that is not taken into account, this was a wonderful evaluation report from your end. Coming to the speaker, whatever recommendations, I agree to whatever recommendations and commendations given to you by the evaluator. I just have a couple of things to add on to what the evaluator just said, is that if you stand and deliver your speech, just like Anurag has mentioned, you can also use the podium more effectively. You have 3 stories in your speech, Toastmaster Sheetal. You could have used 3 portions of your walking area or the podium to depict those 3 parts of your life to inspire the audience. And secondly, what I felt is use of a background. When you're a speaker, this is applies for everybody. When you are delivering a speech, try to have a background with without any virtual background, because the moment you use that, your hand movements will get chopped off if you're using a virtual background. So try using a simple plain background without any virtual or digital usage that will help you to enhance your speaking in by a lot, a very huge margin. We had only one speaker, so I'll move on to the evaluation of the tabletop speakers that we had today. So first was a guest Nikhil. Yeah, Nikhil is in the room. So for Nikhil, your topic was, one second. Yeah, topic was, if you're the Prime Minister of India, what will you change? So you're a guest, Nikhil, and it never looked like that you're a guest. You spoke with so much of confidence and so much of assurance, and you had your points spot on. So no recommendations for you. Keep coming to sessions such as Toastmasters, and we'll see you improving more and more with time. That's all I can say. And you did a wonderful job as of today. Big round of applause for the speaker.
Thank you.
Our next speaker was Toastmaster Vijit, who spoke on the topic of share your feelings if you are given a chance to play with your favorite sports person. And you had first an introduction that what are the things that you love about sports, and you love cricket, and your favorite sports person happens to be Sachin Tendulkar. And you also explained to us in a very lucid manner as to why you being a lover of batting and batsmanship is why you love Sachin and you want to learn from Sachin by meeting with him in person. I felt everything was great about your speech, Toastmaster Vijit. Just one thing is, I felt that I admire Sachin Tendulkar. This fact was being stated in a number of ways. You just said at the beginning that I admire Sachin, and in the end, you could just say, this is why I admire Sachin. I think the others were a little repetition of what you said. You could have packed in other points as well in it in order to show that your admiration or adulation for this great man. I think apart from this, it was a wonderful take on the topic as well. Toastmaster Vijit, well done. Our next speaker was Toastmaster Shruti, who spoke on the topic, your favorite TV actor or actress and how he or she will inspire you. I think Toastmaster Shruti, you spoke about Amitabh Bachchan and the impact that Amitabh Bachchan has on Indian cinema or on you in particular, about the films that he made, films where he spoke about the problems that the coal mine workers are facing, or the other problems of independent India. You spoke about the different aspects we know of Amitabh Bachchan as a politician, or as a philanthropist, or as the quiz master, and or as a guide. And I love the entire plethora of features of Amitabh that you brought on in order to justify the fact that he inspires you. And I thought that was a wonderful take on the topic as well. Shruti, no recommendations for you at this point of time. The next speaker was me, and I'll take my feedback offline. Our next speaker was Toastmaster Anurag, who spoke on the topic, worst food that you ever had ordered. I think you started off well. You started off with that expression of yuck, who made this, and how do you charge $400 for this food? And then what you did was you threw a question to the audience immediately, and you made the audience wonder and get back to you with answers while you yourself were thinking about what are the other points that I could speak on. I think that was a clever take on that. I think that is what all of us can do or can practice as well. When we are short of ideas, you can just throw a question on there to the audience, and while the audience comes up with answers, you will get some answers from the audience, or you can think yourself as well. I think that was a wonderful take on the topic, Toastmaster Anurag. And then you also put a philosophical twist to it as well. So I really loved your take. No recommendations for you. Our next speaker was Toastmaster Ayush Dhaga, who spoke on the topic that one invention that you would love to give to the world as a scientist. Please excuse me for this because I have some network issues, and at times I got disconnected while listening to you. And so I will maybe have to you might have to take your feedback offline from the other members of the audience who are there in your as a part of your presentation. So moving on, I would like to take the timers report for the speakers and the evaluators. So Madam Timer, please give us a timers report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I will share my report. I will share my screen. Toastmaster Sheetal has taken 7 minutes and 21 seconds in his speech. In the table topics section, guest Nikhil has taken 1 minute 16 seconds. Toastmaster Abhijit has taken 1 minute 42 seconds. Shruti has taken 2 minutes 18 seconds. Vishwaraj has taken 2 minutes 18 seconds. Toastmaster Anurag has taken 2 minutes 26 seconds. Toastmaster Ayush has taken 1 minute 52 seconds. And in the evaluation section, Toastmaster Anurag has taken 3 minutes 39 seconds.
Thank you so much, Madam Timer, for that wonderful report. So, which means that everybody is in, except for the for Toastmaster Anurag at the evaluation section, where he got timed out by 9 seconds. We move on to our next role player, that is Toastmaster Ravijit, to provide the report as the as the language evaluator. Sorry.
Thank you once again, General Evaluator. It was a tough job for me as I had to play both the roles, R counter and grammarian. Nevertheless, this is my report. Coming to the R counter report first. Toastmaster Saburni used R twice, had one long pause. Toastmaster Anurag used R twice, well once, and had two repetition of words. Toastmaster Ayush used R multiple times, so once, had two long pauses, and had multiple repetition of words. Toastmaster Sheetal used R twice. Toastmaster Bishwaraj used R multiple times, once, and had two repetition of words. Guest Nikhil used R once and so twice. The rest of the speakers were flawless. Now coming to the grammarian report, there were a couple of good usage of quotes, like Toastmaster Shaborni used a quote in her sergeant at arms speech, which was, first they ignore you and then they fight you. Then Toastmaster Ayush used one quote as, life is short and often difficult to get through. Now coming to good usage of grammar or sentences. Good usage of grammar and sentences were social anxiety, stumbled and stammered, beauty with a pure soul, glorified, further it is, the fatal it is, procrastination, marvels, adore, treat to your eyes, propaganda, exorbitant, and philanthropic. Coming to not so good usage of grammar or words, one very good day can be replaced as one fine day. Lower down every day can be replaced as lowering down every day. No one guest is here can be replaced as no guests are here. I will be keeping there can be mentioned as I will stay there. Who one is there can be replaced as who all are there. Now coming to word of the day users, which was aplomb. Toastmaster Anurag used it twice. Toastmaster Sheetal used it once. And Toastmaster Shruti used it once as of now. That's all from my end. Thank you and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vijit, for that very comprehensive report. I think you were a very active listener and you listened to the entire session very minutely and you noted down everything that must be covered by a grammarian. I'll come to the listening master's report in a while, but before that, I'll give the entire evaluation of the session as a whole, starting with the Sergeant at Arms. Sergeant at Arms started the session in a very wonderful manner. She also read out the objectives and urged the people to come on the camera, and the rules were explained. So that was a job well done. The next was the president, Toastmaster Anurag. So Toastmaster Anurag, you acknowledge the dignitaries who were there in the room. That was a good practice, I must say. You also had a wonderful story that you shared, and you took familiar names of you and the TMOD and you presented your story. I think the story was very relatable as well, with a lot of message for the audience. So well done on that front as well. I'll come to the Toastmaster of the day in a while, but before that, I'll evaluate the table topics master. So table topics master was Toastmaster Shalu. So Toastmaster Shalu, I think you had a wonderful explanation of the table topics section as a whole before you started, and you gave us an example as to why impromptu speaking is so much necessary in our life and in turn in Toastmasters. But there were certain things, Shalu, I have noted down, which I would give you as a recommendation. Is number one is I felt the rules were not being properly explained. We took this as an assumption that there are no guests in the meeting, and but there actually was one, which we got to see in a moment of time. But nevertheless, what I would recommend is, in spite of any Toastmasters or guest whoever is there in a meeting, we shall go and explain the rules once again for the benefit of everybody who is there in the audience. Like, what is the time limit that you're looking at? Are there any special rules that you're trying to follow? Maybe a flip or a switch or a debate sort of thing. What is your take on the format of impromptu speaking that we all, as a table topics master, need to explain? The last thing that I want to recommend you is, when you're calling a guest on the podium, we'll give the guest a question that, are you comfortable to speak today? It might be that the guest is not comfortable or is not in a position, right? And if the guest says, yes, I can speak today, we give a topic. Okay, the grass is green wherever you water it. Are you okay, sir, to speak on it? If the guest says, yes, I'm okay to speak on it, we'll proceed with that. If the guest says, no, I don't think I am confident enough to speak on this topic right now, then we'll go for another topic. We'll not, that is the last option that we have. We won't go for again and again, because that will unnecessarily take a lot of time of this session. But we need to make the guests feel a little comfortable so that they feel no inhibitions in joining Toastmasters. I think apart from that, the way you conducted the sessions, the presentation was spot on. The topics were, you had long topics. That might be a recommendation, but then you did something wonderfully well as well. You had the topic on display on the monitor, so that the people of the audience could see the topic and could see, understand, and then deliver their speech. So on that front, it was a job well done. Just a few recommendations here and there. And coming to the Toastmaster, the Toastmaster Ayush Dakar, you had a very wonderful explanation of the topic. You had a wonderful homework done. You did even last minute homework as well, where you pinged me, who was the last minute role taker, that what are my guilty pleasures. I think those were very diligently done. You had questions for the audience and a voting link as well. So you had ample audience interaction, which an anchor of the meeting must have at a Toastmaster session. So that was also well done. You also worked on preparing a background image of guilty pleasure, which I'm not using, but most of us are using. So that was also wonderfully done, Toastmaster Ayush. However, I have a few recommendations for you. And one of the recommendations here applies for Shalu as well. I'll go to Shalu and come back to you. That Shalu, as a table Toastmaster, you must also take the timing report of the table topic speakers before you hand over the podium to the Toastmaster of the day. Coming back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ayush, one is you have missed out on taking the timers report of the prepared speaker. So before you, after the speakers are spoken, 1, 2, 3, whatever, before you hand over the podium to the table topics master, just keep it in mind that we need to take the timers report of the speakers once the prepared speech section is over. The next recommendation that I have for you is, when you are trying to call on the podium Toastmaster Sheetal, you gave away the name at the first place. I think what we should do is, we should say that, okay, now the prepared speech section starts. Before I call on the prepared speaker, let me call on his or her evaluator, and that is Toastmaster such and such. So, and then Anurag will come on the podium, read out the rules, and then you call on the speaker and call his name and ask him to deliver the speech that Toastmaster Sheetal, Sachin Tendulkar is God. Sachin Tendulkar is God, Toastmaster Sheetal. Here, if a person doesn't have the agenda, then would not even come to know what the topic of the speech is. Because what you said is the Toastmaster Sheetal, you can start on with your speech. But most of us might not even know what the topic of the speech is. So name, topic of the speech, name. I think that is the format. If you can follow, then that will be easy, not only for you to keep a track, but also for the audience members. It will be easy for everybody to understand, okay, this is a speech with this title. That will make things easier. But apart from that, it was a job well done. A big round of applause for all the role players who graced the podium today. But before I let go of this section, I would like to hand this podium to the listening master, Toastmaster Shruti, who is waiting there for a long time for her turn. So Toastmaster Shruti, the podium is all yours for your role.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishwaraj, for handing me over the podium for an applause. So here are my questions. Question number 1. I hope you have listened thoroughly, and I am here to attack. Number 1. What does Toastmaster Ayush like to eat for guilty pleasure with his brother?
Ice cream.
You good one. Then second one. What did Toastmaster Sheetal want to do for which he left his job?
Entrepreneurship, his own audit firm.
Question 3. What did guest Nikhil? One second. What did guest Nikhil's brother want to learn that he couldn't because of our very bad education system?
His favorite subject was maths and accounts.
Brother.
Guitar?
Coding.
Right.
Guitar.
Toastmaster Shabun.
Guitar.
Next question. What role does Toastmaster Abhijit want to play in cricket? That is, what does he want to be? Bowler, batting, which one?
Better.
Who said I? Yeah, right. Okay. I thought it was Toastmaster Abhijit. Sorry. What would Toastmaster Ayush like to build as a scientist?
Anywhere door.
Anywhere door from Doraemon.
I resonated so well with this one. I wanted to build this also. Then what does Toastmaster Ayush want to share with Toastmaster Shalu for guilty pleasure?
Tea.
Thank you. Those are my questions. You have been a lovely audience, and our winner of the day for active listening is Toastmaster Rima.
Am I getting anything?
Lots of hugs and warm hugs.
Okay.
Okay, over to you, President. General Evaluator. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shruti, for wonderfully conducting that active listener section. I think we all got to know what are the things that we missed and what are the things that we heard. I would like to hand back the podium back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ayush.
Thank you, Toastmaster Biswaraj, for a wonderful evaluation by you and your entire team. Now, I would like to go to the end of the session, where I would ask you to give a time to the thought about your guilty pleasures. The next time when you feel guilty of doing those things, I want you to think about it. That do you want to impress others or do you want to be happy within yourself? So while not going for those things, have a schedule or have something that you won't be eating you will be eating it to a particular limit. Because we need to love ourselves, we need to care for ourselves during these times. Because the pressure would always be there. Things have become so fast, there would be pressure all around us. So we need to give time to ourselves and be happy around it. On that note, I would like to hand over the podium to Toastmaster Anurag, to President of the Day, Toastmaster Anurag. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ayush, for your kind information. I'm not just the president for the day, I'm the president for the next 6 months. Whether you like it or not, you have me. Now, voting link has already been circulated. I would request you all to please kindly go there and vote, because no one is voting nowadays. So also, continuing with the theme that Toastmaster Ayush had, and as I mentioned earlier, the Chola Tikki from Tiwari Brothers is something that has been my guilty pleasure lately. So the way I control my guilty pleasures is that I go to the extremes. Like on Ashtami Chaudas, I go fasting. I don't consume any food. For this Chola Tikki, what I've done is that I consume it 3 to 4 days straight. And after that, I get satiated with that. And then I don't consume it anymore. So this is one mantra of doing it as much as you want and then completely giving up on it. Maybe you can go through, you can try this. So also I would ask guest Nikhil to kindly come up on the podium and give us a feedback of how he liked the meeting today. Guest Nikhil, are you there?
Yes, I am there, but I won't be able to on my video now.
Yeah, just speak it out.
Yeah, sure.
So how did you like our meeting?
It was fun and it was good. and many things to learn. And to be very frank, I like to speak, but I don't get opportunities to speak much. But it was a good platform, a podium to speak, and listen to others also. What a very good experience.
Thank you, guest Nikhil, for your kind words. I think Toastmasters International is the best platform to speak your heart out without being judged by any person in the house. I think this
Sure,
is
yeah. Last week, I attended one more session with you guys in our institute only.
okay.
Okay, that was also fun. That's why I joined today.
Yes, do keep coming to Virtual Masters. We meet every Saturday 4 p.m. with the same link. You can join us.
Oh, this is
And
the
we
office time. That's why it's very difficult to join all the time.
no
But would
worries.
love to. I would try.
No worries, guest Nikhil. You can, of course, join in any other Toastmasters club as per your convenience. Get in touch with anyone you want, and we'll help you with the timing that suits you the best.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Nikhil. And I hope everybody is voting. Huh? I still have only 7 responses, and there are 11 people in the house. This is not done. So, in the meantime, people vote. And next, I would like to thank. It is said that when you do your duty with complete diligence, other people in the audience get inspired. And today, Toastmaster Biswaraj, as a general evaluator of the day, he did his job with such meticulous, detailed report. We can't thank you enough, Toastmaster Biswaraj, for not only giving us the feedback how we can improve, but also for taking the general evaluator role in the last moment. Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Biswaraj. And lastly, I would also like to thank Dr. Rupesh for joining in even when he is traveling. So this is all that I have from my end. I would request everybody to please come on the video mode so that I can take a group picture if possible. Biswaraj, Toastmaster Biswaraj, Toastmaster Sheetal, Toastmaster Shalu, Toastmaster Shruti, Nikhil if possible. Can you please come up on the screen? Okay, Sheetal ji, guest Nikhil, in case if it's possible so that I can take a group picture.
I'm driving.
Okay, that's deadly. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
taking a
why.
group picture. 1, 2, say smile. Thank you, my lovely audience. And I have my results with me. So, any guesses who's the best table topic speaker? Well, no guess required. It is Toastmaster Biswaraj. Can we have a huge round of applause? Next, as the best tag team player, we have the language evaluator, Toastmaster Abhijit. Congratulations, Toastmaster Abhijit, and kudos to you for doing your job in the first go in such a meticulous way. Lastly, in the category of Toastmaster of the Day, Table Topic Master and General Evaluator, we have our guilty pleasure Toastmaster Ayush as the winner of the day. Can we have a huge round of applause for him? Thank you, my dear fellow Toastmasters. Keep coming every Saturday, 4 p.m. same time. Just the way today we did a very, very creative and fantastic session. Thanks to Toastmaster Ayush and Toastmaster Shalu. We'll keep on coming with such creative ideas. Be there every Saturday, 4 p.m. Till then, bye-bye.